Yo guys, what is happening? Welcome back to Woolly Games and welcome to another Minecraft 1.14 update video. So today guys, we're going to be taking a look at the crossbow. Well guys, I wasn't going to actually make a video on the crossbow as I was only trying to focus on blocks for these videos. However, it was brought up to me that I should make it. And then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I should. Great story, right? Okay, let's jump into the crossbow guys. And first of all, I think we should take a look at the crafting. So here we are guys, making the video about the crossbow, and I'm pretty excited actually. This is a very cool tool, but most importantly, we gotta know how to craft it. Simply 3 sticks in the 2 top corners and the middle bottom, and then you go ahead and put 2 pieces of string on your left and right middle. You can go ahead and put a piece of iron at the top of your crafting bench here and a tripwire hook in the middle, and then you're gonna receive yourself the crossbow. So what is the crossbow, guys? The crossbow is a new addition to the Minecraft combat game, basically. Combat game, is that what you call that? I don't know. It was an addition, it was a combat update, of course, right? And it's kind of like a newer version of the bow. It's really cool, though. The crossbow has 326 durability, and it shoots arrows just like a regular bow. So if we just give a quick look as to how the crossbow actually works, you're going to simply go ahead. We're going to pick this guy as your target, actually. You're going to simply go ahead and hold right-click to load it. Once loaded, when you're holding it, it's going to look something like this. You can go up to the guy that you're hoping to hit, and instead of hitting the attack button or your left click, you're actually going to want to click right click when you go ahead to fire. And of course, I opened the trade menu. Hold on. Move back a little bit, and there we go. Now we've taken our first shot just by simply pressing right click. Now real quick, a few interesting things to note about this. Unlike the bow where if you just quick charge it and let go by using right click, it's not going to actually fire something. You got to make sure that you pull it back the entire way before it's loaded. Another interesting thing is once it's loaded, you can actually go ahead and switch off of it. Go ahead and, continue your melee and fighting or whatever, and then switch back to it, and it will remain loaded. Also, if you look real close at that animation down there, you can see that it's actually opening up for when you're about to shoot it. And of course, when you shoot it, the string on the end there goes all the way right back in. This can be actually quite useful because then again, when you have your crossbow loaded like so, and you're in a melee fight, you want to know if it's loaded or not. You can simply just look down your inventory, notice that it's loaded, and go ahead and take a shot. Another interesting thing is you can, of course, dual wield it, and of course, while you're dual wielding it, you can load just like so, and that will remain loaded in your dual wield, and then, of course, you right-click, bam, you can shoot without even having to bring the thing up. You can still have your sword out, which I think is a pretty cool feature, and yeah, just an interesting thing in general. So, again, your sword fighting, and boom, gotcha. Also, guys, not to mention when your crossbows are both damaged, you can, of course, combine them in the crafting bench. This is a bad example because they're not damaged, but when they are, you can go ahead and combine them in the crafting bench to heal them up to full durability. One more thing regarding the arrow-loaded crossbows, it actually will stay like that form wherever you move it in your inventory. So these are actually now 2 different types of crossbow. One is with a projectile arrow, and one is just a regular crossbow, meaning that you could probably store it in a chest just like so. Keep it there as like a loaded weapon if you ever needed it. Pretty cool. Another way that you can get these things, by the way, is that pillagers have an 8.5% chance of dropping a loaded or unloaded crossbow when you kill them. And that percentage is also increased to about 12 when you use a looting sword. Also, if you've seen the new watchtowers, they have about a 50% chance to find a crossbow at one of those. So check out the watchtowers for sure if you're interested in getting this. Alright guys, now as I mentioned before, crossbows are pretty similar to the bow and arrow. However, they have a couple main differences that I want to kind of focus on here. One being that they do take longer to load. So depending on your fighting style, that can be a benefit or I guess not a benefit for you based on how you like to fight. However, they do take longer to load. They do more damage than a bow. Their minimum attack damage is actually 6 hearts, or I should actually say that as 6 half hearts because it actually just equates to 3 full hearts, but that's kind of the heart count that you get on that. The maximum is actually around 11, which is about 5.5 actual hearts, and then the average shot that you take with it will be sitting right around 9, so that's about 4.5 actual hearts. Now here's something interesting that I think we're all going to love, which is if you have a firework in your offhand, you shoot it up in the air with the crossbow will actually be loaded with the firework, just like so, with a firework rocket, and then if you go ahead and launch it up in the sky, you'll see that it explodes up there. Pretty cool feature, and honestly just a fun thing that they've added. Another cool thing is that fireworks can also have a multi-shot component to them, depending on how you make them, which means if you shoot it up in the air, we'll actually shoot 3 whole fireworks up there. Pretty cool. Alright, now let's talk about the 3 unique enchantments that you can actually get on the crossbow. So the 3 main ones that we're going to be looking at is Quick Charge, Multi-Shot, and Piercing. Alright guys, now Multi-Shot and Piercing are actually one or the other enchantments for the crossbow. So you can only actually have one of those on your bow at the same time unless you're using some sort of special commands which allow you to get both of them at once. But through a regular enchantment table, you can only get one of these guys on there. Quick Charge on the other end can be applied to them in addition to these, which is a very interesting feature. Of course, Quick Charge actually decreases the reloading time necessary for the crossbow to load up, which is a pretty useful enchantment. Quick Charge 3, of course, being the first one, but there are also a level 1, 2, and 3 enchant. Multi-shot is also an interesting enchantment. It allows the crossbow to shoot 3 arrows at a time, or 3 projectiles, I should say, instead of just one. Sort of like what we were talking about with the firework earlier. Very interesting. And it's, again, just a 1-level enchantment, but a pretty cool looking one indeed. Now, Piercing, guys, is one of the more interesting ones that I've noticed. It goes up to level 4, and the cool thing about it is that it actually allows it to hit an entity or the player that you're trying to hit and actually continue through them in the regular flight path. A pretty cool feature there, and it'll allow you some pretty cool things, like get some double shots off on people if you're in a larger PvP map and whatnot. I think it's just a really cool enchantment overall. So that's about as far as I want to go on the enchantments. I'm not going to go ahead and demonstrate them all here and whatnot. Again, we're just trying to get a basic overlook of the crossbow. You guys can go ahead and try them all out now that you know what they are on your own. Anyway, now we're going to go over a couple more random facts here. The crossbow can actually be used as a fuel. So again, you put it in a furnace and you can actually use it as a fuel to cook 1 item per each crossbow. Kind of a useless, use of it. But anyway, there you go. And also, I mentioned this once already, but I'm going to mention it again. It has 326 durability, which I think is a pretty cool thing. It's also got 4 different sounds for the charge, the quick charge, the load arrow, and the shoot. Things that you can go ahead and play around with on your own time as well. Some pretty cool stuff in general. Anyway, guys, I think that is going to do it for today's video. Honestly, I had a lot of fun here taking you guys for a little look at the crossbow. It's a very cool weapon. I'm glad that they added it here. And I don't know, was it a good replacement of the bow? Possibly. I think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be more of a preference thing versus the actual, durability or use of the weapon, I should say. Because I think people are going to have a preference as to which one they like versus, the amount of damage versus the charge time and whatnot. Really interesting, though, they added it. Anyway, guys, I do like the options behind it and how they're adding more and more PvP things and stuff like that. Very cool. But unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. If you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to go below, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys all in the next video.